Hi, I'm Dorothy Schott from Pennsylvania, USA, and I'm going to be a Rotary Exchange student next year to Latacunga, Ecuador. Um, so this video is going to be about packing tips um, to pack for the year. I know a lot of people have been posting on the Facebook page about not really knowing how to pack, what to pack, because it's a hard thing to think about packing your entire life to move away for a whole year. So this will actually be my second exchange to Ecuador. I was in Zagreb, Croatia last year, so I've kind of been through this whole packing your life away thing before, and I just thought I'd make this video and give a couple tips, give my opinion about packing to an exchange student. So all of my packing tips are just really, my personal experience, and it's different for every person going to different countries. I went to Europe last year, and this time I'm going to South America. So of course I'm going to be packing a little differently than I did. But for the most part, the key to packing for exchange is to not overpack. No matter where you go, Asia, Europe, South America, North America, you're probably going to buy things. You're going to acquire things throughout the year. You'll buy souvenirs, you'll buy clothes, you'll see a cute shirt on sale and you'll probably have to buy it. Or you might get to your country and realize that it gets colder than you thought it would, so you'll have to buy a sweater or a jacket. You might lose weight or gain weight, meaning that you'll have to buy new clothes to fit. Or you might realize that when you get to your country, the fashion is totally different than your home country, and you'll want to buy a leather jacket or something because everybody has one. Not that I did that, but so a good rule, I think, for packing for exchange is to pack for anywhere between 7 to 10 days, and then, swimsuit, the odd things, sweater, jacket, something. But enough clothes, maybe 2 pairs of jeans, couple pairs of shorts, again, depending where you're going, if it's warm, cold, you kind of have to, maybe go on the internet and look at the weather to know, what the weather in your country is, to know if you should be bringing a lot more shorts or a lot more jeans. But it's better to underpack than overpack because, if you underpack, you forget your favorite pair of jeans or something, you can always have your mom or dad send that to you in your country. But when it gets down to the end, if you've brought a ton of clothes and then you bought a ton of clothes, you're going to have to end up either paying a lot of money, hundreds of dollars, to either ship it back or buy extra checked bags, or you're going to have to just get rid of clothes, that you brought or that you bought there because you'll have too many. That's what I did last year. When I went over, I had 2 suitcases full of different things, clothes and presents and all that, and I ended up buying just about as many clothes as I brought, if not more. And then I ended up having to get rid of a lot of the clothes at the end of the year, and I still came home with 3 checked bags, which is crazy, And so it's definitely a lot better to pack less than to pack more. I was told last year, pack everything in your suitcase and then take everything out and get rid of things and then pack it back in. Because originally you're going to pack too much. You're going to see a shirt and you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to need that next year and I'm going to need that. And then there were clothes that I brought last year and literally did not wear maybe once, and then just got rid of at the end of the year. Another good idea is to maybe talk to past exchangers who have been in your host country, or your host city even would be better, host town, and ask them about the fashion, about the weather, about, what they brought and didn't use, or what they didn't bring and needed, kind of get a feel of what you should be packing for that specific city. Last year, I brought, you know, sweatpants and hoodies, and it turns out in Zagreb, people don't wear that, like, in the city outside, you know, so I wore it in my house sometimes, but it was a total waste of space to bring that. And flip-flops. I brought a bunch of flip-flops, wore them to school one day, and got made fun of, because they don't wear flip-flops, you know, other than at the beach there. So, you know, I wasted all that space bringing those things and didn't end up using them. I just ended up having to buy other things. What I'm going to end up doing this year, probably, is pack all my things into one suitcase and then get a slightly larger empty suitcase and put my first suitcase inside of that. So when I get down there, I have an extra empty suitcase for all the things that I end up buying or wanting to bring home. I'll come home with 2 bags, and that way I have that bag there. So I think that's a good idea, you know, definitely. And then if you underpack a little bit, then you have an excuse, you have to buy things. And who doesn't like buying cool things from other countries, you know? What else? One thing that I would say to help cut down with the stuff that you bring is, unless you're extremely attached to like a certain shampoo or certain toothpaste or certain, you know, makeup or something, only bring a little bit in your bag. Like, bring a travel-sized toothpaste or travel-sized shampoo, just enough to last you like a couple days after you get to your host country, and then you can go out and buy that stuff there. Unless, you know, you have a certain kind that you want to bring a life or, you know, a year's supply with you. But, you know, that takes up a lot of room if you bring a bunch of things, like a bunch of shampoos and this and that. They just takes up unnecessary space and adds a lot of weight to your baggage. So I'd suggest, you know, not really, maybe just bringing little travel size things and then buying that when you get to your country. Don't bother about bringing a year's supply of all of your everything. Packing is definitely like a hard job, you know, it's something that you need to think about a lot, plan it out. I used space bags last year, like the airtight, you know, you put it in the bag and then vacuum cleaner like sucks all the air out, and that was awesome. It really helped with the room, you know, being able to fit more into the suitcase, but you have to be really careful about the weight, because you can fit so much then into a suitcase and then it ends up being 70 pounds and you have to pay $100 for an overweight bag or something, you know. Another thing to kind of be mindful of is where you're going. Your host family might have like a small car or something, and if you come with 2 or 3 big suitcases, they might end up not having room in their car to take it home. It didn't happen to me, but before I left last year, I heard a story of a girl who brought, you know, I don't know, 2 or 3 suitcases, and her family came to pick her up at the airport 3 hours away, didn't have the room, and had to take her in one suitcase back 3 hours, and then drive 3 hours back to get her other suitcase. So, you know, that would be embarrassing and a terrible start with your host family. So my biggest advice is just, you know, less is more. Like, try and pack as little as you think you can get away with. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna try and do. Not pack too much. I know it's hard for girls. We have shoes and clothes and this and that, but, you know, try your best, and worst comes to worst, you know, you go buy things in your host country, or you have your mom send you something in the mail. Like, it's much better to underpack than to overpack. So, yeah.